What's up, y'all? Welcome back. Heavy Cardboard. It's you and me today. I'm your host, Edward. Hi. So today we got Tramways Engineers Workbook, Volume 2. Designed by Alban VR, published by AV Studio Games. Psst, that's his company. So, designed by him, published by him. So, Volume 2, the original came out, I think it was 2018, and we did a stream for it then, and we are back today. It is currently live on Kickstarter, so go check that out after the stream. Hopefully, it's up there for another day and a half or so. So, yeah, it's already succeeded. And yeah, he would love your patronage over there. So check it out. Obviously, this one's sponsored by Alban, and so I appreciate the support. Go check it out, like I said, after we're done with the stream today. So if I'm a little bit raspy, a little bit hoarse, that's because HeavyCon just ended on Monday. And as you could imagine, my throat is wrecked from all the talking, because let's face it, I talk a lot on the show. I talk way more in person. So there's that. So yeah, that was successful. That went great. But the show must go on. So here we are. And I thought what I would do to start us off with is show you all the original workbook, because I have it. And so here we go. There you go. So this is the original workbook. This is obviously, I printed and laminated some of the sheets for this. But yeah, this is the original workbook. Starts out very, very simple. Oh, you went one too far. There we go. Started very, very simple. If you're familiar with Tramways, then hey, guess what? This is going to be familiar to you. If you are not, this looks like a big, complicated mess. And so it is all of these. This is the original Tramways workbook. The second edition, which is that bad boy right there. We'll use that one. That looks a little bit better. This is, as you can see, episode 1 of 24. Now, I know depending on how the Kickstarter does, how many stretch goals are unlocked, how many maps there will be, I went ahead and got these 3 printed and laminated, so I figure I'd show you all these. So this is number 2. That appears to be Chicago. It is, because that is Lake Michigan, right? Yep, there you go. And then Cape Town. There. Much smaller map down here. But mountains. So there's that. All right, but we're going to go ahead and start off with Berlin here. So this is solo Tramways. Now, I do know that this is available to be played 2 players. There are rules available for the 2 players. I'm not going to talk about the 2 players because it's just you and me today. So we're just going to do the solo. Here, I'll go ahead and read the little intro here. It says a strategic puzzle game book for 1 to 2 players by Alban VR. You used to be the financial director of the Small City Tramways Company, the biggest tram company in Small City. But you have completed the first part of an internship to take over the seat of the current CEO, Nambla Drive. So, by the way, that's Alban backwards. Anyway, the famous founder of the lucrative urban transport company. For the next stage of your training, you must complete 24 challenges in different cities. In each, you will grapple with the peculiarities of the terrain, local policies, while building a tramway network that meets the city's goals. Let's see. Only a future great leader will have shoulders strong enough to bear so many problems. Enough dilly-dallying. Let's continue your training now. You're not going to let Mr. Drive run everything forever, are you? So it says that this will teach you the rules of the game. But if you're familiar with Tramways, you can go into this. If you've played Tramways Engineer Workbook 1, you can skip the instruction and go right into it. But I'm going to assume y'all want to actually learn how to play or remember how to play. So the only 2 things you need are that and a dry erase marker. I don't know. I figure we'd use pink. We'll see. Maybe we'll use green. I don't know. If y'all have a strong opinion one way or the other, go for it. So we'll use the pink one unless it doesn't look real good. Doesn't look so hot on camera if that's the case. All right. So so this is laminated. Obviously, you'll be able to do so in the finished edition. So it's always fun to write on stuff. So we can do whatever. Yeah, I think that shows up pretty well. Oh, and you may need a little paper towel as well to wipe it off. Or if you're fancy, you have a little dry erase eraser. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about a couple different things. First off, episode. So in other words, which map are we doing? Also, these are the conditions, the victory conditions or the goals. So in our case, we need to get 30 happiness points, 30 points. All passengers must be delivered. Ew, that's terrifying. This one says all industry must be connected to other industry and have an upgraded link. And last but not least, all upgraded links get you 3 points, but that's we know that. So there we go. Okay. All right. So that is our goals. We have 6 rounds in which to do all this. I don't know if we're going to be able to do that, but we're going to try. Right. Okay, let's go ahead and go through setup first, and then I will talk about how the game actually plays. So first things first, it says draw a passenger in each building space on the map by drawing a circle, or better yet, draw a real passenger if you can. Yeah. So here we go. That's a passenger. If this were a finer tip, then I would try, but I'm not gonna, because not a fine enough tip. All right, those are the 4 passengers. Okay, done. You start the game with 2 rail workers. We have 2 rail workers. Okay, we start the game with 0 quid, 0 money. Okay, done. You start the game on the 1 space of the stress track. That's negative points, because just existing is stressful. That's fair. And you begin the game with 0 happiness points. And it says, see the episode twist at the end of the rule book for what makes the episode or the map you're playing different. Well, it's these things. Now, these are not cumulative, so you're not going to do all 4 of these things and more on map number 2. In fact, I'll show you all that. On map number 2, you'll see 32 points, deliver all passengers, and 3 industry, and that has to be just linked. Then on map number 3, as it is, let's see if I can get all this right. 30 points, all passengers delivered, upgraded industry, at least 1 industry connected. That is, I believe, 1 building upgraded, and I cannot remember what that icon is. So I apologize, but nonetheless, there you go. Okay, so we are set up, ready to play, but now, how do you actually play? So in our game, the game takes place, or on our map, as it were, it takes place over 6 rounds. Within each of those 6 rounds, there are 4 steps. Those 4 steps are action number 1, action number 2, then self-help. He makes it sound so nice. Help yourself. Yeah, if you haven't used all your cards. Then the last thing is update. You get to refresh 4 cards and a little bit more. Rinse and repeat. Do that 6 times. And then we go into some final scoring. And then, have you failed? Yes. Okay. That's pretty much it. Okay. All right. So start the round. We're the only ones playing. Like, we are not, there's no AI, there's no bot, there's no anything like that. It is strictly a puzzle for us to figure out. And so please feel free to critique in the comments down below if you're watching this after the fact. And I appreciate y'all watching so close. If you are here live, then help me not embarrass myself. How's that? That'd be great. Okay? All right. So we're going to take one action. We're going to then take another action and then basically reset. So by my count, that means we get 12 actions to be able to do all of those three things. That is intimidating as all get out. Yeah. All right. So a couple things before we get started. Stress. Whatever we're at, negative points at the end of the game. If at any point you hit 21, you lose a point. If you would hit more than 21, you would lose more points. And let's face it, you're just going to lose if that's going to be the case. So let's not worry about that. All right. What else are we looking at here? So we actually have the map of Berlin as it is. Berlin is broken down into different location spaces, or these spaces here. We're going to be able to build rail onto any of these spaces. There are also destinations or buildings already built. Red L, this is a leisure building, a commerce building, an industry, and a residential. In addition to that, there are parcels. Parcels are either, they are spots that can either become buildings or can be built through with rail. Notice the numbers on these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. There's also a river that goes through Berlin here. And for our in particular map, that's it for our map. Then coming down over here, we have the victory point track or the happiness point track, around the outside, around the outside, around the outside. Then we have cards in our hand that we can play on a given turn. Now, these 8 are available to us now. These other 2 that are below this line can be acquired as we deliver to passengers to commercial buildings in lieu of taking money. So that is an option. And if so, we'll signify that those are available to us. All right. Then we have the round track, obviously. Then we have, hey, actions, our self-help stuff, and our reset. How many rail workers we have, how much money we have, our stress. And that's everything that you're looking at. All right. So on our, as an action, I should say, there are technically 6 things that we can do on our turn, but realistically, there's only 4. Okay. I'll start with the 2 that we're not going to do. First one is upgrading a building. That icon isn't even available on this map. Okay. Sleep well, Jess. She's sick as a dog. A number of folks got sick after HeavyCon, and that's a bummer. Anyway, I thankfully was not. Anyway, upgrading a building, we can't do it on this map, so I'm not going to talk about it. The other thing that we're probably not going to want to do is pass, because it doesn't use any cards, but we only get 12 actions. I'm not going to forego an action if I can help it. So now there are 4 real actions that we can take. The first thing that we can do is build a link. Hold on, let me fix that. There we go. Building a link. So how does this work? Well, take a look at these cards. These cards have different icons available on them. They either have a magnetic strip, which is that guy right there. It has rail or some number of rail. You'll notice that there is 1 rail on this one. There's 2 there, 2 there, 2 there. So there's a number of rail on some of these. They have a destination location, so residential, a commercial, industrial, later on a leisure, etc. They also may have a parcel number on them. They may have a rail worker on them. They may have a consequence or a prerequisite that you have to do, which in this case is pay $3 to be able to use that card. Or a passenger, which that will only come into play when we get into the self-help steps, as well as building the building here later, upgrading a rail. Those are the available icons that are up here, and there's also reducing stress. So all of those icons on these cards, building rail requires you to, quote unquote, spend a card. What does that look like? That looks like this. If I want to spend these 2 rail, I mark that card off as spent, and now I have 2 rail to build. What does that look like? 1, 2. You must always build 1 link, meaning a completed link would be something like this. 1, 2, and it goes to a parcel. Now, that's not going to help us But if this were already built to be a building, that would be a completed link. No matter how many rail that you use on a given action, they must all be for a single link. So for instance, what I could not do is build one here and then one here on the same action, because even though I'm using up all the all the links, which I must do, they must be for a single link, not for multiple. With that said, you can spend multiple cards on a given action. So I could do something like, I don't know, let's say I want to connect this leisure to this commercial. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So that would be that card and maybe that card. Now I have 4 links. I must use all 4 of those links, but okay. 1 to 4, done. So now that commercial and leisure are connected. That is a completed link. Now, when you build links, it's 1 rail per space. It also requires 1 rail worker. Regardless of how much rail you're using on a given action, it requires 1 rail worker. So in this case, we'll get rid of that 2. And now we're down to 1 rail worker left. And if you completed a link, which in this case I did from leisure to commercial, I must also use an icon on a card. So, hey, I could use that card as well. So I used those 2 links, and that C, and a rail worker. Awesome. So I could have I could have used an L or a C, but I don't have access to an L. I only have access to a C or a commercial, so that's why I use that. So that is building a link. However, you are allowed to use multiple icons on the same card. So maybe I want to keep that card available to me, but I want those 2 links, and complete the link by using a C. Well, I can do so, but for every icon that you use on a card above the first, it causes 1 stress. So that'd be there. Because I used 2 icons on that one and 1 icon on that one. I didn't use the parcel, so only 1 icon. And by icon, I mean group of the same icon. So all rail on the card is 1. Okay? So that was using those 2, and I built that rail like that. That is legit. The second option you can do on a turn is moving a passenger. So each of the 4 buildings start with passengers on it, and then each type of building will, maybe once, maybe multiple times, if it's empty, get more passengers at the end of a round. But to be able to move a passenger, which is one of our goals that we're trying to do, it requires a magnetic strip, think like to swipe to go through the turnstile. And in addition to that, it's going to be 1 destination wherever you're going to. Well, if you notice this, I don't have an L or a C. If I had this card available to me, and let's just say I did, I then could use, say, that card for the magnetic strip and that card for the C. Awesome. Then, what do I get for doing that? Well, where that passenger went dictates what it gets and what you get. No matter what, you're going to get $1 per segment that you used of rail. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to get me $4. Okay. Then, because I delivered that passenger went from a leisure to a commercial, and we know that because the destination is the one that had to be used. That passenger has gone away now. And because I delivered to a commercial, I get 2 options. I can either get an additional $5, or I can get access to one of those cards. Well, in our example, I already had access to that card. Now I have access to that card as well. Okay? So, that is delivering to a commercial building. If I delivered to an industrial building, I'm going to get one rail worker in addition to $1 per link. So if maybe subsequently I built something along the lines of that, and I had a passenger up here, leisure, and delivered the number of stops, unlike Age of Steam, there's no counting of that. It's strictly, okay, I'm going to move that. I would have to have an eye and a magnetic strip available. So, hey, I have that. I have that. So now I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rails. So that'd be $7. And if I deliver to an industrial, I would get a rail worker. So I would bump that up to 2 rail workers. Great. Awesome. Cool. And I would erase that. All right. Let's talk a little bit more about rail and how this works. You can have rail that looks like this. That's legit. You also could do rail that looks like coming from there, and you can have rail that comes like that. Those are the 3 types of rail. Well, I guess, and you can make 90-degree turns as well. What you cannot do, never mind. That's it. So just as some examples. So building rail, moving a passenger. Easy enough. The other thing you can do, the third thing, is build a building. All right, let me erase all of this. Move that back to 2. All right. So building a building, you need a building icon and a parcel number. So building a building icon is that. Looks like the Empire State Building. I think maybe it's Chrysler Building. I'm not sure. And then you need a parcel. Well, we start the game with parcels 1, 2, 4, and 6. 1, 2, 4, and 6. So on any of those, I can use those 2 cards. So, or I use just that card. So the building, and I get a stress, and I use parcel 2, and I can make this any kind of building I want. You know what? Maybe I make that an industrial. Okay, done. That's all it takes. That's it. So building and building. And now that is effectively the same as that. So cool. But then let's say later on, remember, we need to have an upgraded link from industrial to industrial. So maybe instead, maybe I made this one an industrial, and I've already built link like that. Cool. That's a regular link. But the fourth and final action I can do is upgrade a completed link. So to be able to do it, you need 2 things. You need the upgrade icon. That's that icon right there. And in addition to that, you need the letter of one of the 2 ends. It just so happens that both of these are I's. If it had been here and here, it'd be an I or a C. Either way. So I would use that one, and I would use that one if it wasn't already used. And then I draw a second line to show that that's an upgraded link. And whenever you do that, you get 3 points. That's it. Those are all the available actions. So do that twice in a given round. After we've done that, let's make sure all that's cleared up. That's close enough. We need to put our passengers back. All right. After we have done all of that, and let me get to that. I want to make sure. There we go. All right. So the self-help. So all of this stuff right here, and it's partially covered by that card, but that's okay. You can do any of these things. So get a rail worker, get money, add a passenger to any building that doesn't have one, get happiness points, or reduce stress. You can do those by using the card. So if I have this card still, I could get $3 or add a passenger to any building that doesn't already have a passenger. Or I could get 1 stress and do both. Cool. You are capped at 4 rail workers. If you were to ever get any more than that, they're just wasted. So you can do any of those things. provided you have the card available, etc., etc. So that is the self-help. Then after that is the update. That is here. That means you can erase 4 used cards and get them back into your hand, provided you've gotten these 2 as well. Then new passengers arrive on empty buildings for that type. So at the end of round 1, any industrial passengers, any industrial buildings that have passengers that have left, get added passengers. Round 2, residential, commercial, etc., etc. And then, end of the round. If you're here, lose a point. We're not going to be. That's it. Mark off next round. Rinse and repeat. But, end of the game. End of the game ends at the end of 6 rounds. And a couple things. For every $10 you have at the end of the game, gain 1 point. That seems like a terrible ratio. Just saying. Then lose whatever the amount is that's covered based on stress. Okay, so it's not cumulative. If the 5 is marked off, obviously all the others in 5, I would lose 5 points. And by I mean we. Then every completed link gets you 3 points. And then, have we met all of those conditions? If the answer is yes, we win. Otherwise, we lose. We're going to lose. That's it. Okay. All right. So now, I think I have everything set up correctly. All right. So the question is, I've been thinking about this as far as what to do with my first 2 actions. I mean, building links. By the way, over under Glory to Realms, because it's just me, but I'm going to set it at 2.5. And I want y'all's input, all right? So, thoughts. We know that I need to build another industrial, and it needs to be upgraded. So, if we were to, say, build that as an industrial, we can. We also could in parcel 2, just because that makes it easy. A couple things I did not explain that definitely come into play here. Rivers cost an extra 2 track to build. So to go from here to there normally would be 1, 2, 3. But it's 2 extra because of the river for a bridge. So that's actually 5. So I've given this a little bit of thought. We only have 12 actions. That is terrifying to me. I mean, we need to build rail, clearly. If we were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we were to build it here, the problem is then we can't complete that link because we will have used the industrial. So I don't think we do that in round 1, I guess. So getting one of these cards seems pretty great early on. And we could do that by delivering this industrial passenger to the commercial and either get $5 or get one of those cards. And we're going to get a new passenger there. So that seems like not a terrible thing to do. All right, so let's look at this. I need 5 rail to build that, right? So that's 2, 4. I can't use these. Yeah. All right. 5. And because it's going to be a completed link, it's got to include one of the destinations. It's going to be there. So that's 2, 4, 5. And one of the two ends. So that is 3, 4, 5. And that is built. All right. So that's action number 1 done. Action number 2, I think, is we deliver the passenger. And it at least unlocks that card for us. I think that's the right thing. So to be able to deliver a passenger, you need a magnetic strip and where they're going, which is going to be C. So it's going to use that there. So now this passenger is now delivered. So we're going to get $1, $2, $3. Oh, and that cost us a rail worker when we built the rail. So we have $3 for the delivery. We could get 5 more, but I don't think we'll do that. Instead, we'll just mark that we have that building or that card available to us. That is both of our actions. So now we have all of these things available to us if we want. So looking at this, we could spend this card. We would have to spend $3, which we have, to get us another rail worker, which every time we build rail requires us to use a rail worker. We could reduce our stress by 1, but I think we're okay where we are here. This card's been used, all that. Is it worth spending the $3 we just got to use that card for the rail worker? Now, to answer my own question, if we use that card, $3 for a rail worker is a lot. But we can only build rail 1 time this turn. Do we? I kind of want to build rail twice. Or do I? 3, 6, 2, 4, 6. In a leisure or residential, I could do that. No, I think I will. Yeah. So I'll spend the $3 and I'll get the rail worker. So spent the $3, got the rail worker there, and I'm not going to do any more of those. So now, end of the round, we get 4 cards back. Well, we need rail. 1, 2, 3. What is the 4th one we use for this round? Two, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6. I would need 4 more. I don't have enough rail available to do what I want to do. So I think we use that as our 4th unlock. All right. So then the rest of the steps for the end of the round is new passengers arrive. So that was round 1 done. And now all industrial get another passenger. That's the end of round 1. Okay. This making sense? Y'all with me? It's awfully quiet out there. All right. So we are now into round 2. So we reset our actions. Those cards are unavailable to us. So what I'm thinking of doing might be dumb, granted. But what I'm thinking is for action number 1, we build 1, 2, 3. We own that parcel so we can build across it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rail to go from residential to luxury. And, oh, we can't. Son of a biscuit. You know what? I think instead of this one, in hindsight, we get the other one, and then we can. We get that one right now. There we go. Then, as our second action, we could build here in industrial. But the problem with that is, then we somehow got to connect this to that with upgraded rail. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 total. So it would require 2. That's terrible. Well, I thought that's what I wanted to do. Okay. The other idea is we could... No, that's terrible. I mean, we could build this. So when you deliver to residential, you get one less stress because you're going home from the end of the day. So it's a little bit relaxing. So you lose the stress. When you go to an industrial, oh, that's right, you're going to work. Industrial or commercial, you're going to work, so you add a stress. Forgot about that. My bad. And so you get a stress, but you also get $5 or a card. We got the card. Going to industrial, you get a rail worker and a stress. Residential, you lose a stress. The end. And if you go to a luxury, then you can buy happiness points. It's 1, 3, 6, or 10 for 1, 2, 3, or 4 points for cash. Huh. I mean, we could build the industrial here, and that makes that goal really, really easy. But that just... The problem with having back-to-back like this is you just like in Age of Steam, when you deliver, you have to stop at the first type of that. That's why I like the idea of coming up here. However, and if we were to make this an industrial that is not connected to that actually has to connect. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's more rail than I have. I think we stay on target with this and build that rail. So it's going to be 1 rail worker for action 1. And that will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rail. And we have to use that because it's a completed link. And you know what? I am going to, for the second action, build this building. So it's going to require the building and... Oh, and the parcel number, that's right. Which was that. So if that's the case, maybe we don't do. Okay, fine. The joys of a solo. I'm down to 0 rail, so I didn't buy the rail. I have the $3 still, and I have that card available. So build a building, parcel 1, and that's going to be an industrial. And now, because we've done that, that is now 2 links. That'll be 6 points at the end of the game. All right. So a little bit of a retroactive. Whatever. Don't judge. All right. So those are all the cards that have been used. We now have nothing available. That is literally the only card we have. We can't do any of the self-help. So now we get 4 cards back. Or this. What cards do we need? We need rail. So we need 4 rail to be able to build that. And we need a leisure or a commercial. So 4. 1, 2, 3, and what is the 4th one? I think we go with this one. So there's the 4 rail, or 4 cards that we got back. End of the second round. There are no residential that don't have passengers already removed from it. So that's it. That's it. We're into round 3. Oh, good Lord. Okay. We have no rail workers currently. So to be able to get rail workers, we need to deliver to an industrial. So we have 2 options. We either can deliver one of those 2 to that industrial. Oh. We deliver there, then we build the rail. Now, if we deliver that commercial one, it's going to come back. I don't know that we want that. Oh, shoot. You know what? I just realized we can't get that one back. Instead, we have to take that one back as our 4th card. All right. Because we need to deliver to industrial. Good Lord, this is tricky. All right. So we are going to deliver a passenger. We'll go ahead and deliver this passenger to the industrial. That'll get us $2 and a rail worker, but it gives us stress. So that's now $5 and 1 rail worker. And now we will use that and that for 4 rail and the commercial for the end link. That'll be another stress. And that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is now built. Done. That's both our actions. And that cost us our rail worker. We're down to 0 again. All right, so now do we want to use any of those things? Do we have access to any of those things? We do not. So we're done. Now we get 4 cards back. Whew. Well, I know we need to upgrade at some point. We definitely need to deliver. We're going to get a ton of money from that delivery, and that'll get us a rail worker. We need to deliver passengers. So that's going to be 1, 2, rail worker maybe 3, and let's go ahead and grab commercial 4. All right. And new commercial workers come back. There are none available. We're done with round 3. Okay. Into round 4. Let's deliver some passengers, shall we? Residential, and that lowers the stress, and that gives us a ton of money. Is it worth the extra $3? Or do I just do that? I think we do that. But it lowers the stress. We can go there and then there. Because the residential, yeah, that'll work. All right, so I think we deliver this industrial. He's going to head home. So we're going to use that twice. There. So this passenger going from the industrial here, going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and goes home. So we get $12. That puts us at 17. Apparently it's payday. And we get to reduce the stress because going home. So that's cool. What's up, John? Melissa? Jakob? Paul? Tom? Nan? Who else? Vincent? All right. What's up? All right. So that was action number 1. That seemed good. And now action number 2 is we need a rail worker to be able to build more rail. The question is, do we have to build more rail? That is going to be 3, 6, 9, 12. But we need to upgrade. We need to upgrade 3 times. Oh, God. You know what? I guess that's what we're going to do. We need to upgrade completed link. Oh, you know what? I just realized something. Give me just 1 second. If you move a passenger across a upgraded link, it is, you get a bonus for that. Ah, that's right. I forgot one other really important thing. You also get a happiness point per link traversed. We will have to retroactively look at that. I apologize. I forgot about that. You know what? That only might be in regular tramways where you get the extra. So we delivered our very first one, I believe was that. So that's 1. How many passengers have we delivered? 2 passengers, I believe. I believe we've delivered 2 passengers per link. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4 points for that. And the other was that. That's 5. 2 passengers, right? Total, including that long one right there? Or was it a third? Oh, we delivered industrial. That was 1 more, so that makes it 6. Because that was only 1 link, I believe, right? Because that was 3 there. And then that one, yeah, so we're at 6. All right. That is 1 delivery. the other leisure to industrial. Yep, that was it. Thanks, Guillaume. All right, cool. So that's right. That feels good. So residential is coming back this round. Do we want that? Because that is points. 1, 2, 3 to be able to get that other commercial. I think that's a good idea. So I think I'm okay with that. We still have no rail, but oh, right. That's the other thing. We have to upgrade rail because we can only upgrade rail once every round, and we need it a total of 3 times. Because 1, 2, 3. So I guess we're going to upgrade rail. Okay. So we will use that icon to upgrade, and we either have an I or a C. So let's go ahead and upgrade this one, and we will use the I there. That, and we're going to get 3 points for that. We're at 9. Excellent. That is both our actions. So now we will go ahead and pay the $3 for the rail worker. So we're down to 14. Yeah, just clean that up. We have 1 rail worker. All right, we get 4 cards back. This is the most important. That's 1. We're going to want, we're good there. Huh. We'll probably want that. That's 2. That's 3. And just in case, we'll call that 4. There we go. All right. So now residential comes back, but that never got delivered, so nothing else. All right. We have 2 rounds left. Just double checking about the upgraded. I don't think so. I think that's only in base tramways. It appears so. All right, so I won't worry about that. Okay. Well, we know we need to upgrade for sure. So let's just go ahead and do that. So we'll upgrade there and one of the 2 ends. So sure, we'll go ahead and use that one. So that is now upgraded. We have 2 more deliveries we have to make as well. And leisure will come back. So we need 3 deliveries. Ugh. You know what? Let's use this card. So that was upgrade. And we'll use this card to deliver that passenger to residential. So we're using 2 different cards so we don't get the extra stress. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, $9. So we're at 23. Then 1, 2, 3 links. So that'll be at 12 points. And we reduce the stress because we went home from our day in the commercial district. And that removes that passenger as well. Okay. So now we can do any of the self-help. We're not. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 that we get back. Leisure comes back, so unfortunately that passenger popped back up. We have 2 actions. We're not going to do it. Son of a! I think we would win if it weren't for that passenger. We're going to fail. Glad to hear, Sonny. Thanks for watching. Glad that helped. So we're going to fail, but let's go ahead and finish it and see the what if. So we need to upgrade the industrial. Oh, and that will have gotten us another, yeah, we got our 3. So we'll be at 15 points for that. There. Now that is all upgraded. And then, last but not least, we will go ahead and deliver that residential to the leisure. So that's going to be 3, 4, $5. That's 28. And 2 more points at 17. And then we could buy points. And let's see. We have 28. We could buy 6 points for 21. Or could we buy 7? Let's see. Yeah, we could, for 28, we could buy 7 points. For 28, we could buy 7. That puts us at 24. We're down to 0. And that passenger is gone. All right. So that's both our actions. Then we go into final scoring. For every $10, nope, we have nothing. We lose 2 points because we have 2 stress. We're back to 22. Every completed link is 3 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's another 12. That is to 36. And then, did we meet all of these? Yes. Yes. No. Boo. Damn it! And here I thought we were going to crush it. Grr. There's just not enough turns. That's so hard. Oh no. Do y'all want to try another map? Or run that one back? Same either way. I'm okay either way. Or call it good there. It's up to y'all. What do y'all want? Talk to me, goose. Always be upgrading. Looking at this. This is hard. In a good way, right? I mean, you want solos to be hard. So, or at least tricky in that regard. Like, you don't want to always be able to win on your first try. Glad you're enjoying it, Sonny. Thank you. Oh. There we go. Vincent says, I've never won a scenario of this. All right, y'all want to see another map? Sure. All right, let's do it. Let's figure it out. I don't know what that icon is. Give me 1 second. Let me see on that is scenario. That's Cape Town. Let me see that. Yeah, let's do Chicago. All right. Let's try it. All right, give me a second. I'm going to tape these down so they don't move on screen. I've never played Jimmy Sings on Twitch. I've never played Spirit Island. To me, it is a solo game because that's what co-ops are. But that said, Paul did recently let me borrow all of Spirit Island. Like I have 3 boxes sitting over there. They're right over there looking at me. So that will get played at some point here in the near future. All right, let's see if I got that somewhat straight. That's pretty close. We'll call that good. All right. Okay. So Chicago. What's the hook on Chicago? Let's see. Chicago. Set up the game with 0 stress and 1 worker. Okay. Yep. So you see it's 1 worker already. All right. Connect 3 industries to each other, and they must be directly linked. I think I just made that harder on myself. But anyway, remember that building in a forest space loses you a point, 1 happiness, because you're killing green spaces. I appreciate the subtlety on that. And you'll stay in Chicago for 7 rounds. Okay, here we go. All right, so let's see. What do we start? Okay, so we only start with parcels 2 and 3. So that one and that. I have not looked at this map at all. So, okay, what else is on this one? 32 points, deliver all passengers, 3, got it. And you can have no more than 5 stress at the end of the game. Start with 1 rail worker and no. Okay, got it. All right, so that's the hook here. All right, let's try the green. See if that's better luck. That show up all right? Oh, yeah, that's fine. All right. All right, we'll try the green. So we have 1, 2, 3 passengers. That's it. Start the game. For rail. And let me double check. I know I said earlier that each group is only 1, but let me double check that for. I believe those are different icons. So in that case, where is it? General here. Yeah, I believe these are different icons. So to use 4 rail, that would cause you a stress. All right. I mean, we start with 2 and 3 as possible parcels. 32 points and deliver all passengers. And we start with 0 stress. I feel like I'm supposed to deliver or do. Oh, I only have 1 rail worker. That's the kicker. Two and 3. I'm trying to visualize the track here. The obvious is doing this, but I think I actually want more passengers early on, so I want to be able to get that commercial to industrial to get me a rail worker back. So I think we go 1, 2, 3, 4. We use that. And that. And we're now down to 0 workers. And that's action 1. Action number 2, oh, notice, oh God, we can only deliver once per round. We only have one magnetic strip. So that's going to be 1. And that. By the way, we use both of those icons, so it's going to be another stress too. That's 2. That's both our actions. So now this commercial will deliver there. That's going to be 1 point and $4. And that passenger goes away, and we get our rail worker back to 1. That's both our actions. So that is round number 1 done. And another passenger comes out. The question is, are we going to do any of those things? I don't think we have any specials. We don't. So we get 4 cards back, which is going to be all 4 of those. Oops. 3, 4. New round. Oh, so we need 3 industrials. And they have to be directly linked. Okay. Number 1 has to be to build an industrial. Oh, but if I do that, they're all going, oh, now I see where the trick here is. Oh, that's nasty. Okay, I think I see it. We will use this to build on parcel number 3. And that is going to be an industrial. Then we need 3 track. That'll be industrial. Now, you know what? Better yet, instead of using that, let's go 1, 2, 3, and an extra stress for using both icons. And that is 1, 2, 3. And that is 2 left on that. That's both our actions. So now, by the way, I was wrong. We do have $5 available to us up there, but I missed that, but that's okay. We get 4 cards back. Well, build, magnetic strip, I need commercial available. Well, that's 3. And we'll undo that one for 4. And it is now end of round 2. Industrial comes. So that passenger. So here, let's do that. I think those stand out better. There we go. This is hard. So if I use any of the industrial passengers, they're going to come back. And that was my rail worker, so I have no rail workers. Oh, but yeah, because I built. Oh, no. Yeah, that works. Okay. Well. Jesus. Oh, you know what I just realized? How about we do this? Every round, alternate colors. This way I know what I've done that round. That probably makes sense so I don't screw that up. So I would like parcels 4 and 5 for sure. So to be able to do that, I need to deliver to a commercial. Okay. But I can only deliver 1. Oh. The fact that you only have 1 magnetic strip is brutal, man. I guess. Oh, that's so gross. Okay. So I'm going to deliver to an industrial because I have to. Because I need the rail worker. So if I deliver to industrial, that's that and that. It's got to be this passenger. It doesn't have to be. I guess it could be the other one. But it makes more sense that it's that one. Yeah, it is. So commercial going to industrial, that'll be 1 point. And $1, $2, $3, $4. So we're at $8. And that gets us that. And that was action number 1. Now action number 2 can't be to deliver. That residential's got to deliver at some point. So I'm going to use that card and a stress. So that'll be there and a destination to build that. That's both my actions. So the question I have now is, do I need that $5? I think I'd rather build with it, so I don't want to use it, so I'm not going to. So I get all 4 cards back. 2, 3, 4. And then, end of the round, industrial. That's it. Good. So as of right now, I just need to get rid of those 3 passengers. But I also need to connect 2 more and build 2 more industrial. No pressure. All right, let's go purple this round. Okay. So now I'm going to deliver to commercial. That's action 1. So this passenger is going there. So that passenger goes away. That'll be 1, 2, 3, $4. We're at 12. And I have no rail workers. Yeah. Back to 0. That commercial will then get me that card. And a stress because we went to work. So that's done. Now, action number 2, I can't build. Oh, I messed up, didn't I? That's got to be action number 2. Action number 1 is to build. I can't build because I have no... Oh, shoot. Oh, my God. He did not, Alyssa. I can't deliver that for this. That's terrible. Can't do it. Or else I'm completely hosed. Yeah. I have to deliver to industrial. So there to there. That'll get me a industrial worker or a rail worker. That got me the stress for commercial. So instead of getting this, I am delivering that passenger. And that one still exists. And that got me the rail worker. So now we build 4 rail. There's no way to reduce stress, I just realized. Oh my God. Wow. All right. What the heck do I do? Okay, so I need to build, but I don't own these parcels yet. I don't own any of these, nor do I own one. So I need to build the 4. Okay. So I will build there and there using a rail worker. And that'll be 1, 2. Not completing the link, so I don't need anything else for that. I can't build out the same side. It's already there. So that is that build there. That's it. So I get my 4 cards back. End of round 4. I have no rail workers. So I need 4 and 5. I think I can do this. So we'll use pink this side. Action number 1 is going to be to deliver to an industrial this passenger. That passenger is going to go there for $3. So we're at 15. It adds a stress, but I get a rail worker. And now I'll build a building. So building, and I don't have parcel 4 and 5 yet. I will not build. I will build track with my worker, and I will build that. That is one track, and that'll be there. That's both my worker, or both my actions. Not using the $5, I get my 4 back. This doesn't look good at all, does it? Oh my God, this is hard. That was round 5. Oh my God. Albin, you're sick, dude. So I need deliver and then build. Okay. We'll go with green. So I'll deliver to a commercial. So that passenger, that'll be, oh, shoot. That was a total of, I think, 5 passengers, including this one. That goes to commercial. That is one more stress. I think I just lost the game by doing that. But I get that card. And another $1, which makes that 16. And I have 0 rail. That's action 1. Action 2 is now to build an industrial. Sorry, not build on parcel 4, and that'll be an industrial. That leaves 1 left. And that's it. That is that round. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Those 4 come back. That is the end of the round. Action number 1 is to build on that parcel, and that'll be an industrial. That is now met. And I have no passengers left. But there's no way I'm going to get to the 32, plus I'm at 8, and there's no way to reduce stress. Golly, this is hard. Wow. Huh. We failed. So going through this, I'll finish it, but we clearly have failed. So the question then is, what can I do with my second action? I have no rail, I have no passengers. Can't build. Yeah, effectively, that's it. So then I'm going to lose 8 points for this. So I'm at -3. I get a point, so -2. And then every completed link, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow. Okay, this is way, way harder. In a good way. But it's way harder. Vincent says, like the Dutch say, shared misery is half misery. So there's that. Wow. All right. So in all seriousness, the original workbook, pretty early on, pretty easy. Doable, not too bad. But if y'all want a challenge, check it out. That is Tramways Engineer Workbook Volume 2. You get the idea. It's on Kickstarter for another 24 or 36 hours. Go check it out if you were so inclined. Big thanks to Albin for sponsoring the stream. Everybody over at AV Studio Games, thanks everybody for watching. And now you will see this on the channel again, unsponsored, because now I refuse to go out like that. I'm going to succeed on one of these at some point. You have my word on that. So hopefully y'all enjoyed it. If you did, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Really appreciate it. And we'll be back. I think we'll be back tomorrow night, provided everyone's still available. So we'll see how that goes. I'm Edward. Y'all have a great rest of your day. And if we're not back tomorrow, have a great rest of your weekend. I'll see you soon. Take care, everybody.